Yes, Your Honor, I have been advised in the Senate, Your Honors, we have formally written Senator Richard Gordon in his capacity as chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee that my client no longer wishes to participate in any further proceedings, Your Honor. Uh, like yesterday or the day before, my co-counsel, attorney Don Rico Capunan, met with Mr. Ong in order to obtain his sentiments with respect to this hearing. And it was relayed to me by Attorney Kapunan, and he's here present to affirm my statement, that Mr. Ong has also signified that to be, if only to be fair to the Senate, he wishes to be excused. Although if there are reasonable questions to be propounded by the committee, is more than willing to answer them, Your Honor.
So, okay, thank you, Mr. Lincoln Ong, for your statements. We will please be aware that this hearing is the last, so please do not log out until the final minute. Thank you. Mr. Wang Shuyen, are you present?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm present.
Same question. How often do you talk to Mr. Lincoln Ong?
I think any of the projects, if we are going to pursue any projects and the way to approach it, we will discuss together as a team within the board.
Okay. Why is it that despite that you talk often, you are both on record providing contradicting and inconsistent statements in your business dealings?
I think as explained in the first in that specific Senate hearing, it was I don't believe it was a contradicting statement. I think as if you notice the way that the Senate hearing is conducted, whenever we name a person, that person is brought up, scrutinized, and harassed in many ways. We name a supplier, the supplier is brought up, his supplier is brought up. I mean, we wish to shed the light with the truth, but the company name is already in the drain by what the Senate is doing. But if we are still young, we still want to do business, and by naming people, you will drag their name, drag anyone's name along the way, then it's very difficult. I think at that point in time, Lincoln was considering that he just does not want to implicate people who have helped him. And specifically in this case, Mr. Michael Young helped him with the financing because the company was not able to do that. Therefore, I thought that I saw the hesitance to him, and therefore I quickly stood up and said to speak the truth, because despite the pressure that we might have from naming people, but it is necessary to speak the truth on that matter. So that's why I think there was a miscommunication and difference in our statement at that point in time.
You mentioned in the Senate hearings that PHARMALLY had a letter of credit amounting to 500 million with Union Bank around November 2020. You then later tried to amend this statement that it was not true after the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee brought up that PHARMALLY had more than 4 billion with Union Bank. Can you present to this committee substantive bank documents to prove your updated claim? Can you provide the committee document?
Mr. Chairman, as I've said in the Senate hearing, I did not have that source document with me. That I believe it was a letter of credit, but I was subsequently corrected by the bank that was a certificate of credit. And I'm willing to address that because I wasn't finance trained, so I may have spelled it wrongly and the definition of documents may not be as clear to me. However, I will state on record that we never used that letter of credit or that certificate of credit in name. But I can supply that original document for that certificate of credit to the...
So you did not use that certificate of credit?
We did not use that certificate of credit, no.
Why? Please explain to the committee why you only set to do so days after your religious statement, and and only when that you contested it.
I was in communication with the bank to address that statement. However, I thought it was not in my place to just raise a point before being called by the chairman and questioned on this matter, and I was not given a chance to address that in another statement. And as soon as I'm aware of my word of mistake in my choice of definition of that document, I immediately wrote a letter to address that to the bank, and then I was immediately at that same hearing. The moment Mr. Chairman Gordon questioned me on it, I was immediate to rectify that, because that is what it is, and I cannot change that.
So, what again is your nationality, Mr. Wang Zhuyan? Are you Singaporean, Taiwanese, or Chinese?
I'm Singaporean, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Are you a dummy for Michael Yang?
No, Mr. Chairman, I'm not a dummy for Michael Yang or anyone.
What is his participation in your company?
Mr. Michael Yang's participation is solely on the supply and financing side of certain projects. Not all projects, I need to repeat that. Not all projects are financed by him. Not all supplies came from him. For projects that are, I would say, big and require his expertise and relationships in the Chinese manufacturing side, we did seek help, and in Lincoln, on behalf of our company, seek help, and he did offer his help.
Thank you, Mr. Wang Zhuyan. Mr. Mohit Dargani, are you online?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Did you instruct Cecil Grace Mago to change the manufacturing date on the face shields?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Additionally, it is alleged that warehouse workers were told to repack even the dented and dirty medical grade face shields. What can you say about this, that you ordered this to be done?
No, Mr. Chairman. No instructions were given except for the repacking of the inconsistently numbered face shields, and to make it into 10 face shields into one pack. That was the only instructions given.
Ms. Twinkle Dargani?
Present po, Mr. Chairman.
Are you aware, as president, you are the president, right? You're the previous president, is that correct?
Yes, I was the previous president po.
Are you
I was
aware?
acting president.
Are you aware of your company's financial records and transactions as the president?
No po.
No. So, are you just a figurehead or active president?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question, sir?
Figurehead. You're not an active president doing day-to-day.
Yes po. Yes. I'm not part of daily operations po.
So, you were just put in by your brother as an additional member of the board, is that correct?
Yes po.
Thank you. Mr. Michael Yang?
Chairman.
Good afternoon, sir. Mr. Yang, since it's the last hearing, can you provide information on the so-called friends that you introduced to PHARMALLY that allegedly funded part of the contract awarded to the company? Can you, since this is the last hearing, we would need the information on the friends who financed. If you don't want their names to be my personal guarantee that it will not come out of any document or report. We just need to know that legitimate friends.
好的，前曼，你刚说这些朋友确实不想给他们公众的这个信息，因为他们是生意人，也不想参与这些，因为他们是只有提供货物跟基金帮忙的，他们是生意人。到时候我私下会把名字给他们。
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Yang said that this businessman that he referred, they do not want their information to be disclosed to the public because they're businessman po.
Yes, we will not. Please trust us. We will not divulge it to the public. The public, including nobody that is not part of the committee, will be given the names. We just want to know if these names are just made up by you or there are
就知道这些名字是不是你自己提供的，或者是事实上的。
你刚说这些名字也是我提供的是事实的，中国这4个人，他们有交代我们不能提供这些信息，因为他们生意人，他们有自己的。
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, these are actual people po, and these people when communicated with Mr. Yang and asked him not to disclose their information daw po.
I will have no option. I will propose in the committee that if you do not give it, we require subpoena.
他们就会出一个传票嘛，或者我们私下提供给。
私下可以给他名字。
Okay, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Yang said that he can disclose it personally to you, the information po.
Okay, I will give my cell phone number later or email to you through the committee secretariat. I thank you very much because this will help us in our findings, but I can assure you it will not be published even in the.
对外公布嘛，谢谢。
你刚说我会去问对方一下，行，我会提供。
Okay. Yes, Mr. Chairman, he'll just get he'll talk again to the party spot and then we'll provide the information.
Nothing more, just the names and their place of business. That's all.
Okay, 他只要名字和他们在哪里做生意。
好。
Okay, yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes po, Mr. Chairman. Present po.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I am Ferdinand Topacio. I am representing Mr. Lincoln Cong. May I be allowed to make a few words? Mr. Chairman, please.
You have been advised you cannot address the committee directly. You can only advise your client, Mr. Lincoln Ong, sir.
Sir, if I may, if with the kind permission of the chairman and the committee, I wish to manifest that there is no way I can advise my client, Your Honors, at this point because his phone has been taken away from him by the Senate. So that is the only concern I wish to bring before this honorable committee, Your Honors. Not that I want to speak directly to the committee. I apologize if I have breached any rules of the committee, but there is no other way since we are on Zoom for me to relay this information to the committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
According to Section 13 of the Rules of the House of Representatives, Paragraph 4, sir, you are only limited to advising your client and you cannot participate in the hearing directly.
Yes, Your Honor, I am aware of that. In that case, Your Honor, since I cannot communicate with my client directly, may I address him instead, Your Honor, considering that I'm not physically present?
You can address him now.
Yes, Your Honor, I have been advised. In the Senate, Your Honors, we have formally written Senator Richard Gordon in his capacity as chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee that my client no longer wishes to participate in any further proceedings, Your Honor. Yesterday or the day before, my co-counsel, Attorney Don Rico Capunan, met with Mr. Ong in order to obtain his sentiments with respect to this hearing, and it was relayed to me by Attorney Capunan, and he's here present to affirm my statement, that Mr. Ong has also signified that if only to be fair to the Senate, he wishes to be excused, although if there are reasonable questions to be propounded by the committee, is more than willing to answer them, Your Honor. That is all that I wish to manifest. Again, my apologies for taxing the patience of the committee and taking its time. Thank you, Your Honors.
Thank you. Mr. Lincoln Ong, are you here?
Yes po, Mr. Chairman. Magandang hapon po.
Magandang hapon. Mr. Lincoln Ong, during the course of your contracts with the government, how often would you and Mr. Wang Zhuyan speak to each other?
Mr. Chairman, I think we always discuss the projects as a group, as a board. So we talk to each other very often.
Every day?
I can say that as a group.
How is it that despite being in the same company, you are both on record providing contradicting and inconsistent statements?
Mr. Chairman, I don't think we are contradicting ourselves among the board. Baka there's some misunderstanding, probably, Mr. Chairman.
With the funding from Mr. Michael Yang, what is your final take on that? Because this is our last hearing, I want to know the whole truth. What is the participation of Michael Yang in your company?
Mr. Chairman, allow me to clarify. We indeed seek for financial help or assistance or whatever we can call it kay Mr. Michael Yang. And then, true enough, he was able to help us to secure the goods and bring the goods here dito sa Pilipinas. Landed talaga siya. So in our perspective, kung ano mang gustong angulo ni Mr. Yang, mayroon po kaming obligation kay Mr. Yang. So kung tawaging utang man yan or loan man yan, para sa akin hindi po importante. Para sa akin po is tinulungan po kami para maiparating yung mga goods. Meron po kami obligation na kailangan bayaran. Yun po yung sa side ko po.
Di ba before ikong translator ni Mr. Yang?
Yes po, Mr. Chairman.
How many years?
If my memory serves me right, it's starting at the end of 2016 until end of 2019, Mr. Chairman.
Tapos ito ng PHARMALLY na pinasukan mo.
Mr. Chairman, accidental din this PHARMALLY na to eh. I was if Mr. Chairman allow me to further explain about my situation is umalis po ako. I decided to do something on my own in the later part of 2019 because nabuntis ko po yung girlfriend ko. Ayun. So gusto ko maghanap ng buhay. I wanna have a family. So yun, wala na ako kay Mr. Michael Yang. And then pumutok po yung taal. And then we started to do some small business, you know, as a group. And then here comes the COVID situation. So ito po, diyan po nagsimula lahat yan, Mr. Chairman.
Oo nga. So hindi ka ba dami ni Mr. Michael yon? Are you a dummy for him?
Hindi po, Mr. Chairman. I have my pride. I'm a thinking individual, Mr. Chairman.